Your news starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Angelica Lombardi. Thanks for joining us tonight on News Channel 13 at 10 o'clock. We want to get you straight to breaking news tonight. Investigators are on scene of a fire near downtown Colorado Springs after a person's body was found inside a burnt RV. That's where we find News Channel 13's Mike Carter, who's been talking to emergency responders and neighbors. Mike?
Yes, Angelica, the RV was fully engulfed in flames by the time firefighters got a call around 7:30 tonight. We're going to show you some of the video here right now. Now, neighbors say a man was living in this trailer for the past 6 months, and the trailer has been fully engulfed in flames and is now burned to the ground. That man was found dead inside. No word yet on what started this fire or the cause of death. Police are telling us this evening that they have no leads on what had happened. Neighbors say, again, the man had been living in the trailer for about 6 months. One neighbor we spoke to who was very shaken up, he actually called firefighters. Well, he's still shaken up tonight. This is his thoughts.
Scared the shit out of me because, I know that somebody was living there, so I was hoping, that nobody was in it. That was my first reaction. I was like, you gotta call the cops or something.
Now, neighbors say they're telling us that this man was in his 40s or 50s. Hard to say, but they say he has been living here for about 6 months. The RV was towed from its current location about 4 months ago, and the man inside, neighbors say that they've seen the man just about every day, but now that man is dead, and police are trying to find out why. In Colorado Springs tonight, Mike Carter, KRDO News Channel 13.
Mike, thank you. And now to the latest on the president's travel ban. The president using frank language tonight to express his anger after being blocked by a federal judge in Washington state. And the White House is already fighting back in court. President Donald Trump is taking on federal judge James Robart, who slapped him with a restraining order halting his travel ban from 7 predominantly Muslim countries.
My question to you is, have there been terrorist attacks in the United States by refugees or other immigrants from the 7 countries listed since 9/11?
The president tweeting, "What is our country coming to when a judge can halt a Homeland Security travel ban and anyone, even with bad intentions, can come into the U.S.?" And in remarkably blunt language, the opinion of this so-called judge, which essentially takes law enforcement away from our country, is ridiculous and will be overturned. Vice President Mike Pence interviewed by ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
Is it appropriate for the president to be questioning the legitimacy of a federal judge in that way?
The executive order that he put into effect was legal, it was appropriate, and our administration is going to be using all legal means at our disposal to challenge the judge's order.
Judge Robart imposed a nationwide hold on the president's policy, ruling it would cause irreplaceable injury were it allowed to stand. The Syrian woman hoping the judge's order will reunite her with her husband.
I love my husband and I want to stay away from him. That's it.
The Department of Justice now officially appealing the judge's ruling. And thousands filed into Civic Center Park in Denver today. They were there to rally in support of the Muslim community, holding signs that said, quote, "All are welcome here. Protect our Muslim neighbors," was a Facebook event created after President Trump's travel ban was announced last weekend. Organizers went forward with the event despite the temporary legal hold, saying the fight against the president's travel ban is far from over. A pair of students from the Colorado School of Mines are putting a human face to this on the president's travel ban. Several of the brightest minds at the school say they don't know what's going to happen as uncertainty continues to swirl around President Donald Trump's travel ban. Wife left 8 months ago from Iran to help treat her father who had cancer. Now her return to the U.S. is in limbo.
I came here because I was under the impression that here is a land of opportunity. I was told that my family is going to be safe and secure. I would have never come.
Another student is also unsure of when he will be reunited with his wife. She went to Iran to introduce his child to her grandparents for the first time. But now his little girl needs urgent surgery.
Only treatment for the hernia is surgery. The problem is we don't know what we can do for that.
Both men say their wives' visa processes have been stalled, so they are not helped by the temporary lift on the travel ban. Switching gears now, we'll go ahead and check in on weather. It's been a warm but rather windy day. Many are wondering what we have in store for the weekend. Nick?
Angelica, it's going to be more of the same. Gusty winds out of the west will keep those temperatures on the very mild side. And right now, those winds are starting to let up over the northern high country. And there was a little bit of moisture that was producing some blowing snow across the northern front range. Now we have some high mountain wave clouds that are covering up the skies over the Denver area. We saw the same thing here in the southeast around sunset, but our skies are starting to clear right now here in Colorado Springs and Pueblo. Look at these high temperatures when you get those strong westerly winds. Almost got up to 70 degrees in La Junta this afternoon. It's 65 right now in Pueblo. Actually, that was Pueblo's highest temperature, and the highest temperature in Colorado Springs was 60. Our temperatures right now are in the upper 30s, so it's obviously cooled down considerably, but we're still well above freezing with 39 for the Springs in Pueblo, 40 degrees in Canyon City, 40 degrees in Salida. That's pretty mild. Winds are still generally out of the west, but they're letting up considerably. But they return tomorrow with a windy Sunday and a gusty Monday forecast. We'll cover the details with our Storm Tracker 13 forecast.
Well, his career was a short one, but it burned oh so bright. Tonight, Terrell Davis finally got the call. The former Broncos running back learned this evening that he will be a member of the next class inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this August. Davis was a huge reason for the Broncos' back-to-back Super Bowl successes in the late 90s, but injuries cut his career short. Nick Rothschild will have much more on this announcement straight ahead in sports. Earlier this week, the state Senate passed a bill outlawing the advertising of marijuana online without a license. It's an issue that struck many lawmakers by surprise late last summer when they